Thank you very much. Special thank you to you, Madam Chairman Radha Rampasad. Allow me to extend special greetings, even in their absence, to the Honourable Minister of Education, the Honourable Anthony Garcia, the Minister of State in the Ministry of Education, Dr. the Honourable Lovell Francis, His Worship, even in his absence, the Mayor of Port of Spain, Mr. Kieran Valentine, the Chairman of MIC Institute of Technology, Professor Clement Imber, Deputy Chairman of MIC Institute of Technology, Mr. Keith Toby, the CEO of MIC Institute of Technology, Mr. Anil Ramnarayan, the Board of Directors of the MIC Institute of Technology, members of the MIC Executive and the Management Team, Pro-Vice Chancellor and St. Augustine Campus Principal of the University of the West Indies, Professor Clement Sankat, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Education, Mrs. Gillian McIntyre, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Tourism, Mrs. Cecilia Greaves-Smith, Deputy Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Education, Mrs. Natasha Barrow, the Advisor to the Minister of Education, Ms. Sherilyn Wilkinson, the President of AFET, Mrs. Cavell Joseph, the President and Chairman of Agencies of the Tertiary Education Division of the Ministry of Education, our distinguished participants of Unlocking Your True Potential, Part 5, especially the administrative assistants representing various organizations, members of the protective services, the students who would have blessed us with their presence and their entertainment and all the good vibes and energy here this morning, even in their absence. I want to say a very special good morning and thank you to them. We like to say they are the future. I like to say that they are the right now because we are depending on them for their new ideas, that new energy as it relates to igniting love and peace and unity and even the change that is needed to revive our economy and our country. So in the absence of the students, I want to specially recognize them. To a specially invited guest, the members of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to extend to you still a hearty good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, I stand before you very pleased, proud. I feel honored. It is a privilege to be here with you this morning as your featured speaker for this August event. I want to recognize first and foremost the importance of administrative professionals as they celebrate their day and as we celebrate the week. They are the engine room of our companies, our organizations, our ministries. They know us better than our spouses do. They know from our schedules to what we like to what we dislike, from what makes us smile to what makes us tick. They play every role, from magicians to counselor to coffee maker, sometimes even security. They are indispensable and make reporting to work worthwhile. I want to commend the ladies and the gentlemen that keep us going. The ladies and the gentlemen at the forefront. Your hard work and dedication are well appreciated, and I really hope that you enjoy the celebrations this week. You are much loved and appreciated. For some of you who work as administrative assistants or administrative professionals, this is a career for you, and for some of you, this is a stepping stone. But whatever it is to you, I ask you to continue to do it in excellence, because wherever you are right now is where you are divinely appointed to be. And I'm going to use a little example of my very own story because some of you may be clerical workers and have aspirations to be something else. So you're asking, how could she say where I am right now is where I ought to be? But you are here, you are working wherever you're working or doing whatever you're doing at this divinely a point in time, because God has some work for you to do. There are lessons for you to learn, things for you to do even right now as you set on your way to unleashing your full potential. And you can do that at every stage in your life. And I would like to use my very own life, or part of my life, to give you that example. When I was in high school, around the same age as the young people that were here today, I wanted to be a meteorologist because I liked geography in school, and my mother wanted me to, study along that line. And I wanted that. But when I really checked myself, is this who I am? Is this what I really wanted to do? What I knew about myself at that time, I am a middle child. I am the fourth of 8 children, and we're all about 1 year apart. And I didn't like my big sister making decisions for me, or my big brother making decisions for me, because you're only 1 or 2 years older than me anyway. So I don't even look to you as a big brother or big sister. As far as I'm concerned, we are all in the same boat. So I always wanted to be in part of the decision making. I always question, why is this decision made on my behalf? Because I see myself just as one of them. And that spirit stayed with me all the days of my life. So in school, in high school, I found myself getting involved in student bodies and any little organization where young people would be able to speak up for themselves and become a part of the decision-making process. So I would have moved from student council in school, and from there I went on to the Tobago Youth Council. And from the Tobago Youth Council, went away to study, and then came back, joined Tobago Youth Council once again, and then went into politics because of that passion to help people to be represented, to give a voice to the weak. So all of this came out of the essence of who I am, despite what I wanted to do academically. And as I stand here today and I look back at what my dream was in 1998 when I graduated from high school, there are some who would say, but you wanted to be a meteorologist. But the essence of who I was at that time, and the essence of who I still am at this time, is a voice for the voiceless, somebody who tries to give strength to the weak, somebody who believes in youth participation and being involved in the decisions that influence your life. So when I say that you are where you ought to be right now, because God is preparing you for the future. At that time, when I was getting involved in youth organizations in school, God was preparing me to get to where I am today. So I'm not a meteorologist, but I'm being the best me I can possibly be, doing what I love. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are where you are. So you are right now where you are supposed to be. Here at this divinely appointed time, there is something for you to learn in your current position, some work for you to do, an opportunity for you to grow. The question is, what are you making of it? Everybody's journey in life is different. God made it that way. What does that mean for you? Our calling, each and every one of us, is as unique as our fingerprint. We are all here for a purpose, to do something, to learn something, to make a change in somebody else's life. The fact that God wake you up this morning and send you out there on this journey, there is some work out there for you to do, because all creators or all God, whatever you may imagine God to be, didn't make any mess and doesn't make any mistake. So the fact that you're given life is not just to take up oxygen or take up space, but there is some work for you to do. So the first step in unleashing your potential is figuring out, what do you love? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? Not where your mother wants you to go, or your brother, or your boyfriend, or who your spouse wants you to be, but understanding who you are and what you want for yourself. What are your goals, your aspirations? What are your dreams? So that's the first step, knowing who you are and what you want to do. Then you must identify your goals, your dreams, your future, the future that you desire, and your destiny. And those are major hurdles. Most of us can talk about these things, but talking and dreaming is not enough. Sad to say, there are people who think that the dream is the end of it all. Dreaming is not enough. You have to get out there and do the work. You see, Jim Lovell told us that there are people who make things happen. There are people who watch things happen. And then there are people who wonder what happened. To be successful, you need to be a person who makes things happen. Be somebody who gets out there and makes things happen. Success doesn't belong to the dreamers, but to those who get up, go out there and work. Success does not belong to the sleepers, but to those who get up, get out there and work. Success does not belong to the complainers, but to those who get up, get out there and do the work. Success doesn't belong to the Facebookers, but to those who get up, get out there and do the work. Success does not belong to the Snapchatters, but to those who get up, go out there and do the work. Ladies and gentlemen, I just looked out in the crowd and I saw Shamari Ajani Hector. So excuse me 1 minute just to recognize and to shout out Shamari Ajani Hector. We grew up in the same street in Bethel Village. And I'm always so pleased I am so proud of the young man that he has become, because he has come from the humblest of beginnings, and it is a rose that grew through concrete. You don't know his challenges. You don't know his story. I admire and I salute you, Shamari Ajani Hector. You have a ways to go. So God bless you. So thank you for allowing me to segue. Let me get back to it. People who are eager to succeed, they don't waste precious time watching too much TV, browsing Facebook, Snapchatting their meals or their hairdo. They are the go-getters. They get out there and they do the work. So if you're doing these things and hope to be victorious, hope for a victorious outcome, then keep hoping. You're going to be waiting for a very, very long time. You are not fooling anyone but yourself. You are not cheating anyone but yourself. When you half-step, you are not cheating anybody. You are cheating yourself. And I got that from a young lady named Abby. She's a trainer with Precision Fitness. And I decided to step out the box 2 weeks ago and join Precision Fitness in Port of Spain. Because I'm trying to be fit and keep up with the young people. And I get out there and I cheat on the burpees and I cheat on all the different technical things that she's doing. And she comes and reminds us, when you half-step, when you play around and doing the remedial version of the exercise, you are not cheating anybody else. You are cheating yourself. So if you would get up and go out there at 6-something in the morning to do this exercise, you better go full 100, because you're not cheating anybody, you're cheating yourself. So when you go to work and you lollygag, you're not cheating the employer, you're cheating yourself. When you make excuses, you're not cheating the employer, you're not cheating anybody, you're cheating yourself. When you procrastinate, you're not cheating anybody else, you're cheating yourself. So if you don't like your job, find somewhere else to be. Find something else to do. Why waste the time and the energy reporting to work to do something every day that you really don't like? Save yourself, your employer, your children, and your entire family the time, the effort, the energy, and the money. You're not cheating anyone. You're cheating yourself. Did you actually get up out of your bed, showered in the wee hours of the morning, do your hair, do your makeup, and travel to work to be a loser? You could have stayed at home. Did you get up early in the morning, rush to have breakfast, line up by the taxi stand or wherever you go to get to work, to come to work or school to be sleazy? You could have stayed at home and do that. Because success belongs not to the talkers and the dreamers. It belongs to those who get up, get out there, and do the work. It's like eagles and pigeons. A pigeon wants to feed. When a pigeon wants to feed, it waits on the ground in the park for somebody to throw some scrap on the floor or discard something in the trash. Pigeons wait for leftovers. On the other hand, the eagle soars in the sky, flapping its wings, and plucks a fish twice its size out of the ocean. An eagle flies across the sky and plucks a bird twice its size in flight and eats it. The eagle doesn't wait. The eagle doesn't sit around waiting for somebody to throw scraps. The eagle doesn't sit in a corner waiting to see what the world throws at it. The eagle gets out there and gets it. And that is the attitude. The time for wishing and dreaming has passed. The time for doing nothing and waiting has passed. The time for action is right now. The time for acting on your dreams is right now. It's time for you to look within yourself and decide that you are in charge of your destiny. You have to be hungry. You have to be eager to live a better life. Your ideas, your dreams, abilities, and talents were gifted to you, and only you could bring them to life. Do what you have to do to get through. If you could think about it, then it's possible. If you can imagine it, then it can be done. And if God has placed these ideas in your mind, then He knows that you have what it takes to realize the dreams. So if God is on your side, then who is really holding you back? You see, you need to stop grappling with getting others to try to understand your dream. Stop looking for buy-in. You see, you have to know a tree by the fruit that it bears, not by the fruit that it talks about. You have to save your own life. Nobody's going to save you. You have to do what you have to do, no matter what it is. No matter how far-fetched it seems to you, to your family members, to your loved ones, to your teachers, or to your friends. What you need to realize is that you are, in fact, greater than your circumstances. In fact, your circumstances, this very environment, this very position, prepare you for greatness, for that same greatness that you seek, that same greatness that you fear, that same greatness that you doubt that you're worthy of. You have to know for yourself that if no one else sees it for you, you have to see it for yourself. You have to tell yourself, no matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, you are going to make it through to the very end. Don't be dissuaded. Don't be distracted. You have to learn to dance to the beat of your own drum. When you go about explaining and begging and pleading and looking for supporters to jump on your dream bandwagon, you're setting yourself up. Your dream is your business. You don't need partners in realizing your dream. You are sole proprietor. You already have all the resources you need. You already have what it takes. You see, when you go about advertising and looking for supporters, you're actually showing yourself. You're showing that you display weakness and you're exposing your fractures. You tell the world that you are afraid of your own power. You are afraid of your own potential. You are afraid of your own ability to win. Sometimes in trying to recruit cheerleaders, you end up attracting dream killers. They call you crazy. They'll call you crazy. They'll laugh at you. They'll ignore you. They are the ones that go the extra mile to fight you. Stay clear of dream killers. Most of the people trying to talk you out of your dream have no dreams of their own. Some of them don't even know how to dream. They have no goals, nothing to look forward to, nothing to be ambitious about. Why should an eagle pursue the approval of a pigeon? A dream killer's sole mandate is to derail your faith. And at the very center of fulfilling your dreams and unleashing your true potential is an abundance of faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. The absence of faith leaves room for fear. Fear will sabotage your future. Fear is a murderer. Fear will kill your dreams. Make no mistake about it. Fear is a dangerous and powerful enemy. It is cunning and deceptive. To live in fear is the worst form of insult to your own true self. By having such a low regard for who you are, for your instincts, for your abilities, and for your worth, you build a cage around yourself. And trapped in by your own fears, you then pretend that you're incapable of having what you want, forever waiting for others to give permission to you to start living, all because of a 4-letter word called fear. But the good book says, God had not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and love and a sound mind. And if God has given us, all of us, that kind of spirit, then what is the difference between you and those who have succeeded? What is the difference between you and those who are living life to the fullest? It is not that our troubles are different. Life is life. Our pains are quite similar. It is our approach that is different. You see, you have to believe in you. You have to believe in your dream. You have to believe in your ability, your capacity to get to where you need to be. You have it. What are you waiting for? Tomorrow? Next week? The start of the new month? Why wait another minute? Why spend another minute settling? Why spend another minute being substandard? Why spend another minute being mediocre? I can say for myself, my parents, or should I say my foreparents, didn't travel across the Atlantic, fought, bled, cried, and died for me to be mediocre. My grandmother did not wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning and travel to the Scarborough Hospital to be a cook for me to be mediocre. My mother doesn't wake up, doesn't report to work at 5 a.m. in the morning to a morning gang to work as a checker, even now, for me to be mediocre. And my God surely didn't die on a cross and show me new mercies every single morning for me to be mediocre. So I owe it not just to them, but to myself, to get out of my comfort zone, to get out there and do me, to stay committed to being the best me that I can possibly be. Always ready and willing to face the challenges. Always ready and willing to beat the odds. Always willing and ready to rattle the cages. Always ready and willing to prove the naysayers wrong. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to your sanity. You owe it to your community. You owe it to your country. You owe it to your God. So I dare you to move past dreaming. I dare you to stop settling. I dare you to get working. I dare you to give all or nothing. Not tomorrow, not next week, not the beginning of the new month, but right now. What are you waiting on? What is your excuse? What is your inhibition? Ladies and gentlemen, your family, your community, the entire country, the whole universe is waiting on nobody else but you. With those few words, I sincerely thank you.